So the hardest part of the day, if you've injured your knees, after you get up out of bed, which is bloody hard, because usually you pull a muscle, don't you, if you're in a bad way, and getting up the stairs is hard. No, that's not true. Going down the stairs is hard. Going up the stairs is easy. But if you're not in good shape and the stairs are steep, and you live in a small house and there's not quite enough foot space to plant your foot well, then you're going to struggle. Now the first thing to talk about is how the knees work, or how the legs work. If I get my feet planted in the ground, that's as much rotation as I can manage, and if I leave my feet where they are and twist about this angle, this knee, and on me it's about 30% bigger because of arthritis and inflammation. It's already under great stress. If I go down the other side, the middle's fine, I keep going. Now I'm feeling tremendous strain here. Now the reason for that is very simple. Your feet work like springs. Now I'm on my toes. Let's see which angles are comfortable. Well, all of these now. With my feet down, I'll nearly break my ankle. No, break my knee when I try and get past here. And when I'm on my toes, boy, this is easy and fun. I wanted to deal with that first. Now the body was designed to climb up and down trees, and we don't do much of that. In fact, we're kind of forbidden. And when I go out exercising, the people who do parkour, who simulate trees, they can do everything that anybody else can do and more. And the people that go bouldering, they can do a lot of stuff quite easily, because they're playing with half of a tree. Because they can't rotate round to the other side of the tree, because it's only half a tree. And those people, they tend to be a little shortened in the front, and that's because they're always pulling, and they're never extending much. Back to the stairs. In order to turn around comfortably, I'm going to cross my legs, and then I can turn around really easily. Now I've got a walking pattern, and the pattern is you lead in the direction you're going, so in this case with my hands, and it's hand, opposite foot, hand, opposite foot. And if you're clever, and your stairs are really narrow and there's not really enough place to put your whole foot, and if you did, it would stop them twisting, and it would mean every time you went up and down it you would injure yourself. Then you reach with your hand and try and go on to the tip of the next foot. Now it doesn't matter if you're here, just try and find your way from the heel onto the ball, heel to ball. Lead with your hand and your foot, then your hand and your foot, then your hand and your foot. And that's exactly what you'll do if you're having a good day. You don't want to tweak anything, but you don't necessarily feel that you can take the time to crawl. You use both hands on the wall, and you'll each with one hand, then the other foot, one hand, the other foot, one hand, the other foot. Now, to get down the stairs safely, I recommend both hands on the rail, and the order changes. The foot reaches, and the hand catches up. The foot reaches, and the hand catches up. And if you're having a bad day, or it's first thing in the morning, you should have your hands in front of you in the steps, so your body knows you cannot fall. So if you get pain in your muscles, and they don't work right, or you're stiff, your hands are protecting you the whole time. And because of that, the parts of your body that control movement that you don't know about, because nobody ever has, just like the same way you don't know which chemicals to make to digest, the parts that are good at letting you move well, they can do their job. Because you're not making it untenably difficult by doing the hardest possible thing without a warm-up first thing in the morning, which is standing on a tiny ledge that's not as big as your feet, and then balancing on one foot and then trying to get to the next one, when you could simply use both hands to help. And the difficulties if you're patient, disappear. And we do that way, it became a game. And here, I'm practicing rotating on my toes. And you might notice that on my quite big stairs, there's almost not enough room to do that. So, we've only got so much space to play in, and so much space. So now I'm on my toes, and I'm going to do some physio. I've got my hands planted on one step, I'm sitting in the one next down. I play a bit like this for a while, making sure I don't glue my feet to my ground, because if I do, I'm going to hurt my knees. And I'm just playing around. A lot of people think that yoga or mobility training should be painful. It really needn't. Now if I want to get deep into my knees, I can just rock gently forwards and back. Now if my head goes in front of my knees, I'm starting to fall that way because it's like a scale. And if my head is too heavy, then the rest of my body needs to pull back to stop me falling. So I'm going to do it in a particular way. First I'm going to lift my knees and get onto the balls of my feet. And then I'm going to lift my bum gently forward. And that's me in a deeper squat. Then I'm going to gently persuade my feet back. And that was like a centimetre. Rock back and forward, is it comfy? If it is, rock back. Other foot comes in. And what I'm actually doing is, I'm massaging my toes past each other, one joint at a time. So they're fitting together nicely, these big toes, and I move my hands so as I can slide this one back. And it fits in the groove perfectly. And I'm comfy. And again I'll rock back, gently help this one go to here, and I'm comfy. Now, as someone who struggled with mobility and has had sore knees their whole life because they cycled in straight lines, I'm very proud that I can make this squat position very comfortably. And at a certain point I need to go onto my toes, and that's comfortable too. And then I can push up and onto my big toes and use the walls to balance. And now I've just had all the physiotherapy I need, so that I can spend the rest of the day no worrying about my knee. And I've also built the kind of habits that will stop me casually aggravating it. And the biggest one for me, and the one I've been working on for the last few months, is getting in and out of a car. And I'd actually managed to injure my knee practicing it wrong, because I need to rotate out of the car seat, so I put this foot over. And if I plant it like this, when I twist, amazing strain on my knee, because it can only do this much. But see, if I go onto the toe, it can do this much. And because of that, when I use my hands on a bad day to help me out of the car, and I'm on my toes, everything works and nothing hurts. And I spent years in pain and a couple of months there in agony. And the solutions to problems that we get ourselves into, they're not simple. Life's complicated, our environment's complicated. And the answers I offer are not simple. And because there's so much advertising for methods that people try and don't work, but because they're strongly advertised, they keep going. And the NHS is kind of advertising services that don't work. They're really good when you're in crisis. They're absolutely useless because they employ children that don't know much to teach the cheapest type of physio. But I was lucky because although they're not teaching it quite right and they're teaching in big groups, some of the people that are teaching Tai Chi, like our teacher Hang Fong Tang, they break it down just right and you're safe.